everybody, it's Cortney from CurlsPlusPretty. Thank you so much for coming by my channel today. I wanted to share, this is the end result, but we're gonna go back and rewind here in a minute of just my wash day that I did today for my curly hair. I have 2B, 2C, and a little bit of these 3As here in my hair, and truthfully, a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have told you I had any of those things. I had just frizz, and I had no idea about what was a 2C and a 4A, and I didn't know what any of those things meant. So I've learned a lot in the last year and a half related to caring for my hair, and thankfully it all started with the absolute genius of Atoya. A lot of you may know her. She has her own curl studio here in Portland, Oregon, and she was incredible in educating me, among hundreds or maybe thousands of others of us, how to take care of our hair, probably thousands. She's amazing. So I've taken a lot of the techniques I've learned from her. I've taken a lot of things that I've learned from other YouTubers as to how to change things up for my hair. But my big thing is I try not to overcomplicate it. So I'll run you through my wash day that we did today, and hopefully you'll be able to I don't know, take a little something for yourself out of this. I don't know. Or maybe learn something you see that I did that you hated and didn't want to do that ever. That's fine. You know, you take what you can from each video. But I hope this can be helpful for somebody out there. At the very least, we're going to be using mostly the line called maxgreenalchemy, which is a line that I had not heard of before until the last time I visited Atoya at her curl studio, and they happened to have sent her some samples, and I said, sure, try it on me, after I had to stop using Diva Curl. And so I've used it now for several weeks, and I really like it. It is definitely great. So let's rendezvous back in my bathroom, and we can go through this wash day together. So here we are. Welcome to my shower. As you can see, we have quite the curly hair product addiction going on. This is common, I think. I'll just take my hair down out of my little top knot. I'd been exercising this day, so my hair was really kind of still sweaty and gross, and the curls were all stretched out, especially at the top section. So I'm going to start with just a good scrub on my scalp, just with plain water. Just helps to loosen up all of the dead skin and product buildup that's on my hair. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump in with my Max Green Alchemy Scalp Rescue Shampoo. This stuff is all organic. It's gluten-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free. It's vegan. It's just about as clean as you can get, and this stuff is fantastic for my scalp. I'm the first to admit I have a little bit of a flaky scalp issue, and no matter how much I wash it, sometimes overwashing actually makes it worse. So it's not a lack of cleanliness. However, this shampoo seemed to really help with that right away. It has vitamins and botanicals and all kinds of good stuff in it, and it smells heavenly, you guys, heavenly. So even though this shampoo is really clarifying and really gets my head clean, I also really like to use my silicone scalp brush that I got from Amazon. It's around $8, I think, and this one does have the option to power up and vibrate, but I prefer just to do it by hand. So you'll see me spend quite a while scrubbing everything, and then continuing to scrub with my fingers as I'm rinsing out. I wish you could hear the sound effects right now because literally my hair is squeaky clean by the time I'm done with this shampoo, in a good way. But it definitely, you can feel it's time for conditioner. So I'll go ahead and grab my Max Green Alchemy Scalp Rescue Conditioner. Again, it's organic, gluten-free, paraben-free, sulfate, silicone-free. It does have some oils in it, so it is nice and thick. You can see I had to use a pretty good amount for this one. It does not go a long way, but the thing that I love to do, and that one of the things that Toya taught me, is to add lots and lots of water to your conditioner. Marry that conditioner and the water together, and that's what allows you to have the slip that you need in order to get your fingers through. So I'm finger combing. I did not squish to condition much on this particular day.
My hair didn't feel like I needed it, but I did take my little Denman brush here, and this is not for detangling, this is just to get those nice little clumpy bits to form and to really make sure the conditioner gets worked all the way through my hair. So you'll see I just take little vertical sections there, kind of whatever I feel like I can grab, and make sure the conditioner is evenly distributed all the way from the ends up into the roots too. And I'll do this all the way around, including on the back of my head. I do find a little tangle or two here, like right there, you can see that. I found a little tangle, but I'll often go back with my fingers and re-detangle that because the Denman brush is not meant for detangling. Forgive my filming here. This is the first video I've filmed in my shower, but I will do better next time, I promise. But this is just a quick drizzle rinse, rinsing out just a little bit of that conditioner. I did leave a little bit in, but not very much. Next is the Curlmix Pure Flaxseed Gel. This is their sensitive formula, so there's no fragrance. I love flaxseed gel. I've made my own before, but I hate having to walk to the fridge to get it before I take my shower. So using the one from CurlmX, comes in a pump bottle. It is fantastic stuff. It is real organic flax seeds right into a gel, and so you'll see me rope it in and then kind of pulse it up rather than, I don't do any raking or anything like that. I do want to try to preserve those clumps that I have. I always start upside down first, and then I always go to each side and just kind of glaze it over, then rope, and then I'll pulse it up as well. And that pulsing seems to kind of do the trick for me, which is part of why I did not do that squish taking dish today. I get plenty of squishing from doing my pulsing here. Last but not least is my Scalp Rescue Sculpting Gel. This is the Stronger Hold Gel, I believe, from Max Green Alchemy. They do have two different ones, but again, organic, paraben-free, silicone-free, PVP-free, no animal testing, cruelty-free, and vegan. So how can you resist? And like I said, this stuff smells amazing. So I did use quite a heavy amount here, and you'll see why in a minute because I'm going to wet up. And I've purposely left some of the sound in on this video because I want to be able to show the squishiness, the seaweed feeling that I'm getting from having so much water left in my hair. My hair is sopping wet at this point. It's still dripping. I'm scrunching, but I'm not really getting a ton of water out of my hair. I kind of save that for this part when I do my wet plop. So the more water I am able to keep in my hair, the less frizz I seem to get. So here I'm just using an old t-shirt. I stole it from my husband. It's a plain old Kirkland brand Costco t-shirt, but I tie it around and let my curls just sit up in the top of it for about 10 minutes. And I can get out of the shower without my hair dripping all over me while I try to dry off. The next thing I do is I take my hair down out of the plop and I do a couple of little scrunches. I do use the wettest part of the t-shirt, so I'm still just barely getting some excess water out, but not very much. At this point, my curls feel a little bit more stable, like I can give them a little bit more of a scrunch without destroying them and without removing some of those clumps. So a couple little scrunches here. And then we can move on to the diffuser. You'll see that when I do the diffusing, I am using my Dyson hair dryer, and this thing is really powerful. I did attach my Black Orchid diffuser to it, and I just used some little magnets that I got off of Amazon and glued them with the E6000 glue. It's been pretty heat resistant so far, but you should know that you're trying this at your own risk, as am I. But for the moment, it is nice because it clicks right on. When I first start diffusing, I do hover over my head. I learned this from a tutorial from Mains by Mel. You'll see that I am using it on medium heat and medium airflow here because I'm not actually touching my hair for the most part. Just barely hovering over it so that I don't get frizz, but this way the roots will dry and eventually will dry about the same time as the ends of my hair. And so I do this for quite a while, and then when I feel like my roots are starting to feel a little bit drier than the rest, I'll go ahead and start moving the tines of my diffuser into my hair. At this point I do turn it down because it is pretty hot, like uncomfortably hot. So I'll still keep the medium airflow going, but reduce it to low heat. And then you can't see it in the video, but I do use the the cool shot button often, like almost every position. I put this on my head because it feels so warm to me. I'll usually let it get as hot as I can stand it, and then I push the cool shot button for about 10-15 seconds as well in the same area that I've been in, and usually that helps to kind of set the curl. So warm it up first and then cool it down before I go ahead and move the bowl of the diffuser. I feel like it's only fair to say that if I were not filming, I would probably spend a little bit of time bent over upside down so that I could truly get all the hair off the back of my scalp, off the back of my head. But for the purposes of filming, I did go ahead and just focus on going side to side, and then I did try to get forward a little bit, but it would be slightly different if I weren't filming. So take that into account here as you're doing your own process. I think the most important thing that I've learned about diffusing is that you have to be very careful about moving the position of the diffuser from one place to another. I tend to go in a straight manner and then back out in that same direction. So you don't want to be curving around on your head too much. You don't want to be moving the diffuser once it's already in your curls. You don't want to move it side to side much. You want to back it out from exactly the same direction you came in from. And that is true for 95% of the time when you are diffusing, because the more you move it around in those curls, the more you're going to get frizz or loss of curl clumps. If you're going for volume, that might be a different story. If you want a little bit more definition, however, it's really important to try to preserve those clumps as long as possible. You will see towards the end, right about here, I'm going to put the bulk of my curls in and then just do a little bit of circling on my scalp with the tines. That does break up the curl clumps a little bit and helps keep the curls off of my scalp, like they tend to get stuck. So it does help with just a little bit of volume there, but I try not to do that too much. You'll see that was very, very brief compared to the total length of my time diffusing. My hair is about 95% dry, I think, at this point, maybe 90%, but I'm going to give it just a little bit of time to finish drying all the way, and often it's better if I just let it set.
Okay, I am back. I had finished diffusing. I waited about another hour or so. My hair was about 90% dry, maybe a little bit more, but I like to just really wait till it's fully dry. And I didn't want to stand under the diffuser anymore. So here we go with the best part, everybody's favorite part. I get to scrunch out the crunch. You can see it's kind of crispy on the ends still, and you know, we're not getting a ton of volume here, but let's see what we can do. And for today, I wanted to do what I normally would do. So I'm not going to do any extra scrunching or extra fluffing more than I would normally do on a regular wash day. That's about good there. A little bit more. Okay. And I fluff usually just a teeny bit more, but not usually much because I am prone to frizz. Okay. And now we attempt to get the part, which is never straight, and that's okay with me. Do a little bit for the scalp. Oh, minus this one crazy kiddo who's not listening. The rest of it's not too bad. What do we think? I'm okay with that amount of frizz. We think that's functional frizz, right? That's not so bad. I can't see the back, but I'm sure you guys can. I'll see it later. But yeah, that looks pretty good to me for today. I'm pleased with that. I think if I were going out right now, which I am not because of COVID-19, I would probably smooth this part down just a smidgen with a teensy bit of water, but I'm not even gonna worry about it. It's really so minor. I'm actually really pleased with the volume on top and the way it kind of stayed up a little bit. Sometimes it tends to come down. And these little ones in the front here are getting so ringlety. They didn't used to be like this. That's kind of amazing to me that my hair can do this. I just can't believe it. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and separate this guy just a little because he's very ringlety, but that's amazing. Huh, who knew? I have spent hours and hours watching curly hair videos and trying to learn more about what I can do differently with my hair, and it has changed so much in the last couple of years. So hopefully this may get to a point where it helps someone else too. Who knows? Who knows? I'm here if you have any questions. Just leave a comment down below. I would love to share more about what I've journeyed through with my hair, and love to be of service in any way that I can if you're going through a curly hair journey too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.